Okay, this has been happening too many times, very much recently. And I kind of wanted to bring it up because it's pretty cool, honestly. I think I want to start pointing some things out that happen when you start to really become successful to the point where you don't really have to say things because people will come to you and ask about your success. For example, once you start to actually do things and take action, not only motion, not confusing motion with action. Let me look it up. That quote is from, I can't find it. That quote is from Ernest Hemingway. Never confuse motion for action. Whew! So true. Because, motion means moving, but that doesn't mean you're actually growing or you're not failing. Motion can mean reading articles, doing research, right? Maybe looking up different protein shakes for the gym. But action actually means drinking the protein shakes, trying the protein bars, going on a run and your knees hurting afterwards. You can research as much as you want on things, but if you don't actually take action and act them out and fail and suck and get hurt and, hate it and then love it, you're not ever actually learning. And that is what action teaches you. And so lately I've been doing a lot more action than motion. Last year's a lot of motion for me because I was doing a lot of research on how to kind of do new things, looking at how people have done e-commerce, done sales, done marketing, what they took, what paths of work they took. This year I'm doing a lot more of actually investing into it, actually trying to make a website. And it gets to the point where you realize that the entire time you were just moving, there's a higher chance of a return of investment, ROI, with that time if you actually invest it in action. Because you can research all you want, but until you apply that research and until you actually start testing it out and failing and getting no views on your videos and getting no shoppers on your website and getting people who reject your ideas, you don't ever actually grow. That brings a lot of emotional maturity. Why? Because you learn how to not take everything personally. So many people in businesses, people who are multimillionaires, they always say, don't take stuff personally. And I think you don't understand what they mean until it starts to happen to you. Until people start to hate you because of what you're doing. People start to talk bad about you because of what you're doing. People start to criticize your ideas, your movements, your cringiness because of what you're doing, that you don't actually realize what taking it personally versus letting it kind of pass by you means. And then it gets to a point where you realize, do these people actually, number one, put value into my life? Do they have a value that I really need? But then you have to realize at a point where you kind of just gotta stop caring. You have to know how to care about different things and not care about other things. And that's where that idea of not taking it personally comes from. They're not exactly criticizing you. They're criticizing your ideas, your success, your growth, your failures, your cringiness, your awkwardness, your not embarrassment. They're criticizing your actions, not you. And that's okay. You gotta let them do that. But don't let it affect you personally to the point where you're like, okay, wait, do I stop working this hard? Do I stop putting effort into myself and into my future because this person over here is talking about me? Do you let that happen? No, you don't let that take over your mind. You have to get to a point of emotional maturity where you're like, okay, they're gonna keep talking. Let them talk. It's not about me. It's about them. And if it is about me, okay, that's fine. Good for them. Let them talk. Let them be them. You can't control somebody else. So you just gotta let people talk. Let them hate your work. Let them just dislike you. Let them talk bad about you. Let them talk bad about you to your entire friend group. Great, now you know who your real friends are. Let yourself not be taken personally from other people's comments that have nothing to do with your personality or your personal traits. It's just about what you're doing to the world that they don't like. And if you know you're doing something good to the world, then don't let it affect you. Don't let it impact your work. Don't let it maneuver your success. Don't let it overtake your impact. Don't let somebody else's little bunch of weeds, kill your garden. Just let them plant those weeds there, take them out, and keep growing your garden. People will come into your life so many times and just try to ruin your growth and your success. Oftentimes they're jealous, but honestly, it doesn't matter what the reasoning is. That's their life. Let them live. Now let me remove them out of my life, cut that contact, lose their number, end the friendship, end the relationship, not speak to them. Let me set those boundaries and let me grow. And so many people just take it too personally. Just don't take it personally. They're not attacking you. They're attacking your work. And that's where you have to differentiate that and sort of disassociate and set those boundaries and keep moving forward. Because life keeps going on. At the end of the day, time keeps going, so don't waste it on people who don't deserve it. I literally have people in my life who ran on my parade every day. They dedicate 1 to 2 hours a day just to disliking me. And I'm just I'm sorry, but how do you have so much time on your hands? How do you do it? I don't have enough time or energy to spend on making somebody else's life worse just because I don't know how to progress mine. And I don't find it useful. It makes no sense to me why you would spend time trying to make somebody else's life a little less happier and have less sunshine. And instead of doing that, why you wouldn't just dedicate it to growing yourself and making yourself better for yourself. Because at the end of the day, when somebody is raining on somebody else's parade, nobody wins. Because number one, you're making their life a little worse. And number two, theoretically, right, if you're thinking about raining on a parade, you're wasting your water. You're wasting your energy. You're dedicating all this energy to not liking somebody else instead of spending that energy on growing yourself. It's a lose-lose. I don't understand why people love to dedicate themselves to not liking others. Just like yourself. If you don't like somebody else, great, let them be. It's their life. Live your own life and grow yourself. Make yourself a better person to the world. Make yourself a better person for your parents. Find your purpose and find something to work for that is positive and that will actually make the world and your life a better place. You could, with probably less energy, say, oh, good job. Let me learn from that and let me grow myself too. Just because, it's like this one quote, it's like, just because I get $1 million doesn't mean you can't get $1 million too. Just because somebody else is a millionaire within 5 years doesn't mean you can't be a millionaire in 5 years too. But you're not being able to now. Why? Because you're over there spending those 2.5 years, those first 2.5 years, talking about them. Oh, that's fake. Why do you have to care about that? Just work on yourself. If you honestly, even unconsciously, rain on somebody else's parade constantly, just take that conscious mind of yours and just watch your actions and see, am I actually benefiting myself or somebody else, or am I actually harming them? And why am I doing this? Why am I taking time to make somebody else's life worse and not progressing my own and not making their life better? Why am I not dedicating time to that? Why am I choosing to dedicate time to the bad? Why not the good? If we all were able to just take that into mind, be conscious of our actions, and really think, what am I doing here? Right? Think of what you're thinking. Think why you're thinking those thoughts. We could all just become a better humanity, better society. We could all just become such a better world. I've had so many encounters where people are just being rude, no reason, because they just want to dedicate time to that, and that's okay. That's your life. But I think if you're somebody who has to deal with that, you have to take the extent of taking a step back. And number one, not feeding into it. And number two, understanding that it's not your fault. Again, not personal. It's not personal to you. It's theirs. It's their ideas, their choices. And then number three, understanding that it's all for growth, right? Everything happens for a reason. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. You have to if something bad happens to you, think, okay, let me not let this ruin my day. Let me take a deep breath and let me think, okay, what's the positive of this? The other day at school, I made lunch at home and I was so excited. Oh my God, I made this stuffed eggplant with beef, tomatoes, cheese, carrots, onions. It was delicious. It was amazing. And I also had a side of overnight oats next to it for my lunch. And I go to my locker and I go to get my lunch. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go, getting my lunch. I pick up from the top shelf and literally I get it and I have my books in this hand and I drop it and it falls all over the floor. I kid you not. All over the floor. We're like, it's transition periods between lunches, so there's some kids in the hallway and they're all like, oh my gosh. I just go, okay. I drop my books, I go to the bathroom and I get some napkins and I start cleaning it up, okay? I'm cleaning it up, whatever. After I cleaned that up, my friend had come to help me and I was like, oh, why'd you come back? She's like, oh, I'm came to help you. I was like, oh, thank you so much, I appreciate that. I left that interaction, that like kind of situation thinking, what if I had let that ruin my day? This is horrible. The worst thing could have happened. No. That takes so much energy. Oh my gosh. And your brain takes so much energy just thinking. Why would I want to waste my energy on that? Why would I want to do that? Take a breather, deep breath, collect yourself, and think, okay, it happened. I can't go back in time. It's done, right? Because whining and groaning is not going to help. There is no need for that extra energy waste and that extra noise to be created because of one small thing. You can't let the small things affect you. And normally, the small things are what start a big ripple effect, right? We always say, like, small things lead to big ideas or big creations. Same thing with negative small things. That one small thing of dropping my food could have ruined my entire day, but I didn't let it. You know, in basketball, it's so funny because in basketball, my entire life, my coaches and my parents and my uncle who have coached me, they've always told me, like, okay, once that play is over, forget about it. It's done. You can't go back. You can't pass the ball a little harder. You can't shoot the shot a little more with more arc. It's done. So forget about that play and be focused on the next one. And that applies to all factors of life, right? You can't just be stuck on that one last event that happened 5 seconds ago. Okay, it happened. What did I learn? What could I change in the future? Now let me do better. You just gotta move forward. Because if you don't move forward, time will keep moving forward without you and you'll be left behind on your own journey. Learn from it, forget it, move on, be better tomorrow. That's the message.